Now, the actress Kirsten Dunst says her new film about a civil war in present-day America is a warning about what could happen. The film, called Civil War, features a president some have compared to Donald Trump.
It's written and directed by Garland, who's behind the dystopian hit 28 Days Later. Now, Charlotte Gallagher has been talking to Kirsten and Alex about the film and the men being paid more in Hollywood.
19 states have seceded.
The United States.
An America divided, engulfed by civil war.
Citizens of America.
Led by a president who's refusing to leave the White House. Kirsten Dunst plays a war photographer traumatized by her work.
I think the movie is very much so a warning, and I think it leaves people with so much to think about, and I feel like if you're in the theater and you really take it in, I think it's a very moving piece about journalists, and you don't really get that look inside in the way that Alex filmed this movie, and kind of felt very, very realistic while watching the film.
Every time I survived a war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
The film is set in America, but really this film is about two things. It's about journalists and it's about polarization, populist politics and polarization, which leads to extremism and extremist thinking. And that's happening in America, but it's happening here in this country, and it's been happening here for a long time, and it's happening across Europe. I could list the countries, or you could list the countries, where that would be true.
He saved my life twice, and I've never even seen his face.
Kirsten has been acting since she was a child, and as a teenager starred in some of the biggest films of the era.
Ever been to a cheerleading competition?
She had stardom, but she didn't have pay equality.
I definitely grew up in a time with major pay disparity between the lead actor and myself, even though I had been in Bring It On and he hadn't.
And did you feel in that time you were in a position that you couldn't say, hang on a second, why is this person being paid more than me?
I was very young, and it just felt like the time. What do you do
it was how
when you're?
It all worked.
It
wasn't questioned.
And I was 17. I'm still learning. You know, when you're that age, I'm still learning my taste in film. I didn't even think to ask.
Nobody questioned it.
Yeah.
Male executives didn't question it.
That's right.
These were all inherited opinions. They weren't thought about.
You represent the future. All eyes will be on you.
Marie Antoinette was one of Kirsten's lavish, big-budget films.
It's not too much, is it?
But it wasn't welcomed by the critics.
The people that were watching that movie were my age. They weren't movie reviewers. Movie reviewers were old men. So to me, the people that enjoy Marie Antoinette have now grown up, and they're like, we loved this movie, but they weren't the people that were writing reviews. We grow up in a world where it's mankind, man-made.
Right.
Man this, man that, man that. That's how we grew up. I think that, you know, times have changed. Don't you? I mean...
I hope so.
I hope so, too. I mean, hopefully the way I carve my path will help other, you know, actresses.
Charlotte Gallagher, BBC News.